In my dimmer display, I have a capital S, small h, or a capital S, capital H. What does this mean? These are warning codes. Each, although similar, indicates a very different issue. On the input side, where the 120 volt AC power leaves the panel box and connects to the dimmer, it's called the line side. The output side, where two legs of 120 volt AC leave the dimmer to go to your bulbs, that's called the load side. Capital S, small h indicates there's a problem on the line side. That is, how the dimmer was wired up. Wiring should be as follows. Green from the dimmer connects to the ground bar at the panel box. White from the dimmer is dedicated and connects to the neutral bar. Solid blue from the dimmer connects to a 120 volt 20 amp breaker. Black and white striped from the dimmer connects to A side load. Blue and white stripe from the dimmer connects to B side load. The small red and small black wires connect to 0 to 10 volt DC analog output of the controller. If not using 0 to 10 volt, just cap these off. S, capital H, indicates there's a problem on the load side. That is your sockets, your bulbs, and the load side wiring. Most common problems are keyless or other style sockets. There's a reason many sockets are relatively inexpensive. Most are not exactly built with the quality and long-term use in mind. Even a new keyless socket with a damaged screw shell will be problematic. Your bulb may make contact in the tab of the socket, so it will light up. However, any movement, fans, etc., will result in the amps produced that mimic a dead short. The dimmer will protect itself in that case. Bulbs is another issue. Truth is, all of these household bulbs being used in poultry and agriculture are actually rated for 3 hours a day usage. When used 18 plus hours a day, you're using 6 plus days of the life of the rating of that lamp. These bulbs age, and they do so rather quickly. The poorer quality components that are currently being used simply add to the problem. As they age, sometimes 1 or 2 bulbs will begin to arc on the inside. You don't always notice it at first. That arcing is the same pattern as crossing 2 live wires. These bulbs also produce an incredible amount of inrush current. Now, inrush current occurs not only when you first turn the bulbs on, but 60 times a second the entire time the bulb is energized. You may read 7 or 8 operating amps on each side going to the dimmer. What you cannot read with an amp meter is the inrush current. On our oscilloscopes, depending on which brand bulb, which watt, and the number of bulbs, we see 1,000 to 4,000 inrush amps produced by the bulbs that hit the dimmer 60 times a second. The dimmer is built to withstand such abuse, but it will warn you with a capital S, capital H when the amps are getting to a potentially damaging state. Have your installer or electrician call us to help adapt the dimmer to this problem.